Hello. Do you ever feel like you're lost when it comes to digital marketing? You want to promote your property, but there's so much competition. You don't have a budget, perhaps. You don't have a manpower. It doesn't necessarily have to be so hard if you're organized and have strategy. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, we have with us Kelley Ellert. She is a digital marketer. She has also, if you wanted to look on YouTube, we have a couple of previous sessions that she's just helped us with. But Kelley, I think our first point was you wrote a lovely article for our June issue of Resort Trades in which you said that you should pick a lane. So why don't you explain a little bit about what you meant?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like online it's fragmented right now. There's a million social media platforms, websites people use. I mean, it's even people are using different search engines now. Google still has 80%, but there's still 20% of people out there searching on other platforms. So it's just online is just fragmented. So resorts, when they have small budgets, you're not working with the budget of Expedia. You're not working with the social team like Expedia or like a big management or resort group. So for individual and small group resorts, they really have to figure out what social media platforms and digital marketing efforts will give them the most return, will be most worth their effort. And they should really just pick a lane and do that well. Like a resort doing Facebook well is better than a resort doing mediocrely on TikTok and kind of okay on Instagram and is trying to run Google ads. And like, it's fragmenting your budget across an already fragmented.
So it's kind of a matter of focus. Keep it,
yes,
keep your eye
focus
on the ball. And
Yep.
Also I've heard if you're organized and set up a Hootsuite platform, you can address several.
Yep.
But that's another conversation.
Yeah.
Another good point that you made in your article was to create a big piece of content and chop it up. Resort Trades has done that, and I think we're getting a lot of mileage out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does make sense for any business, really. This is a strategy. This is a social strategy for any business. I do really recommend it for resorts, though, because of their small budgets and their variety of audience. Like they don't have a niche audience like your audience is resort professionals. It's a very niche audience. If you're a resort, you're trying to reach people of all different walks of life that want to come travel there. So it helps to create a big piece of content. And I've got a few examples. What that means is like invest in creating something that you can repurpose into hundreds of social posts or a bunch of website content and stuff like that. And so it's like photo shoots. If somebody does a photo shoot, you're going to get all of this visual content that you can just keep using throughout the year. A free download by creating let's say a travel guide to your area. Let's say you're a resort in Boca Raton and you create a travel guide and you get people to download it. You're getting their email address, which is first party data, which is excellent for advertising. And then you're staying top of mind to them. And then partnerships are like working with like influencers or other different partners that are going to be ongoing creating content with you. So the big piece of content you're creating up front with an influencer is a partnership program. And then those pretty much, if they're set up well and by somebody who's done them before, they can basically run themselves, where you have all these influencers out there sending you content, pushing content out for you, and continuously creating content where the resort is not the ones making the effort to create that. So these are just some ideas about like what I encourage people to do is just brainstorm what they can do up front and then just keep repurposing that throughout the year, throughout several years. But you really just have to make it an efficient way to get your content.
Meanwhile, I wanted to take a break and talk about Resort Trades, our sponsor of this session. We have a very prolific online and offline media. It's all free. So if you are interested in advertising and reaching an audience of resort professionals or even HOA members and boards, they find us because we are so prolific. Go ahead and contact Marla at thetrades.com for the media kit. And if you have ideas for editorial, contact me. I'm Sharon at thetrades.com.
So this kind of second half of this, the whole spend a little, get a lot is, so that other stuff was basically about organic social. It's, posting, creating content and being present that way. And a lot of people, sadly, what they're doing is they're doing organic, and they may not be doing bad at it, but they're not seeing any results from it. And it's getting harder and harder to get your posts viewed on like Facebook and Instagram if you're not putting any advertising dollars behind it. So this whole spend a little, get a lot, I think it's very surprising to people. Sometimes it's not, when you live and breathe it every day, how affordable it is. But to people who aren't familiar with advertising on Facebook, and I don't mean boosting a post, I mean an actual targeted advertising campaign.
About how much would it cost? Out of curiosity.
Yeah. I have resorts that have $500 a month budgets, and they can directly attribute it to a significant amount of direct bookings a year. Usually about 500 is the minimum, but for a $500 a month media spend, you can actually get direct bookings. So you can spend a little and get a lot. It's a high return ticket. So if somebody makes a reservation, it's most likely more than $500. So typically it only takes a couple bookings a month to make it very, very obvious that digital advertising is profitable.
Great.
And one way to do that is to don't work too hard to get new visitors, capitalize on the ones you have. So all these, if you have a digital or if you have an online rental program, like if you have inventory on Airbnb or Expedia or anything like that, you're probably getting some random website traffic of people who, people visit over 38 websites when they're booking travel. So they may start with their favorite booking engine. They may start on Airbnb or Expedia or Google. They're searching and they're putting in all these parameters like what their budget is, how many people it needs to sleep and whatnot. So if you're coming up in those search results, you're already kind of a perfect fit for that person because they've put in their parameters. You probably have availability on those dates because they've probably stuck their dates in. So you wouldn't show up if Expedia doesn't think you have availability. So from there, they're going to go and they're going to Google on social media. They're going to come to your website. They're probably going to come to your social media accounts. If you're able to be found by Googling your name, you're getting all these random web visitors from these platforms. So you can either let the platform have the customer and do nothing, or you can work really hard to capture their email address or at least get them to their website. And if you have remarketing, like tracking pixels set up through like Google Analytics, you can very affordably remarket to them. It's just like you ever like shop for something on one site and then you're reading the news or you're on social media and that exact product kind of pops up.
Oh yeah.
So it's more
somebody's
affordable.
Spying on me.
Exactly. Consistency and tools, like it just matters on social media to be consistent. And one thing that I'm seeing a lot of people do wrong is they're just scheduling like 2 to 3 posts a week and that's it. And posts are not really the thing that's popular on social media right now. It's stories, it's reels, it's all these other different placements. And there's all these tools, like some of the things here on the slide, like the yes, no things, the link in bio, like having a link in bio, those like link trees where you can
getting that interactivity. Huh?
Exactly. Like
That's
if you're not
great.
using the tools of the platform to take advantage of their interactivity, you are wasting so much effort on posting.
Also, on consistency, I keep interrupting you, and
No,
I'm
you're
sorry,
fine.
Kel,
You're fine. It's good.
but I was listening to a speaker this morning on YouTube, and he was saying he had a college class on, I guess, social media, and he assigned one group to post every day for 4 weeks or something like that. And the other group was only to post once a week. Mm-hmm. And it was astronomical, the growth of the 6-day a week posters. Mm-hmm. They were up in the thousands, whereas the once a week people got an additional average of 40 visitors.
Yeah. I believe it because the thing with social media and the importance of consistency. I mean, it's like anything in life is consistent, building habits and stuff like that. So consistency is not new. But the thing about social media that makes consistency important is the algorithms that decide who and what pieces of content to show to people, to show it to what people and when to show it. the algorithms are so misunderstood that it's just a luck game, honestly. I mean, there's strategy to it. You need certain hashtags. You need to be creating content that is meant for the platform and stuff like that. So there's strategy to it, but social media is also a little bit of luck. There's like the biggest TikTok influencer, I can't remember what her name is, but they've gotten like a TV show and all these things. And for a while, her TikTok bio literally said, I don't get it. Don't ask me because I don't get it either. And the reasoning behind that was her TikTok had taken off and she never intended to be like an influencer. She was just posting content, but you never know like what's going to grab somebody. It has to get in front of the right person and then they share it or they engage with it. And it's just a luck game, and your odds are significantly smaller if you're not consistent. So,
Right.
And then most importantly, like I just tell people, no matter what you're doing on social media, if you're doing it because a boss told you to do it, so you're posting on social media, or somebody told you you're supposed to be on there, so you're coming up with some random posts and you're getting your job done, it's not going to work for you most likely, because the thing that's missing is, who are you trying to reach? You're trying to reach people who are looking to book a vacation and who might book one with you. And then you ultimately want them to book with you. And you also want to use your social media to engage past guests so that that's a returning guest. But I often find people just thinking, okay, what post should we make this week? But no, you have to start with who is your audience. What do those people care to see in their feed? What is going to grab their attention? What's important to people when they're in the booking process? What are people's pain points when they're in the booking process? And when I've noticed when people step back and think about who they're trying to reach and why they're trying to reach them, and stop selling or being promotional and just talk to those travelers like a trusted travel advisor on social media, post content that they'll find interesting, it helps a lot. Like it matters who you're getting in front of, because it doesn't matter.
Also replying to people if they put in a comment and you just ignore it.
Yeah, that hurts your engagement. And that's one of the signals that tells every social media platform, it monitors, or it operates the algorithm basically on signals. Like if people engage, it's going to show it to more people. And you're included as an engagement in that. Like if you're responding, you'll increase your engagement. If you're not responding, they'll start to show your stuff less and less and less. So yeah, that's very important.
Well, Kelley, thank you so much. I hope I didn't rush you over much, but I really want to invite you back, and maybe we could do this on almost at least a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And build your volume of content.
Yeah, that'd be great. And it'd really be great to get like some specific questions from like resort general managers or resort leaders. Like if they want specific questions on like that they have with social media, or issues or hiccups that they've had, stuff like that. One thing that people struggle with the most in social media is it almost just breaks on them, or it stalled out, or they were doing a good job for a while. So there's all kinds of things to troubleshoot and audit and whatnot with social media accounts. They're finicky little brats, I call them.
Right you are. Well, Kelley, thank you again, and we will welcome you back. And also, don't forget, be looking for Kelley's information or her articles. We're gathering more and more of those on in Resort Trades. You can go online to resorttrades.com and look for various articles that she's done in the past.